So Eric, you just got back from Las Vegas. Tell me about it.
I did. I went to Vegas, first time ever, first solo trip. It was surreal, bro. Had a really good time. The reason I went out there was to be on a billboard, and going out there, I had no clue what billboard this was going to be. I thought it was maybe going to be like a little one on the side of the road, but I was out there for a company I'm partnered with called Nui. If a lot of y'all online business owners out there are familiar with Stripe, that's what I've used in the past to run Earn Physiques, take all my client payments. Like Stripe is how I, keep a roof over my head, keep the money coming in. So now I'm partnered with Nui, which is essentially like Stripe's another payment processor that's big in Australia. So one of their marketing guys, Joseph Bono, who maybe he's watching this, reached out to me, saw me with Alpha Elite, saw I'm a fitness model, run online business. He's like, hey, you want to be on a billboard? Sent me a DM. I was like, absolutely, man. Like, what's this all about? So got on a call with Nui, love the platform, makes a lot more sense than Stripe. And they got me on there, and I was on there for about a month, like taking all my new client payments on there. They're like, hey, we want to put you on a billboard out in Las Vegas. So it's like, let's do it. So they gave me a travel budget, booked my flight, hotel, stayed at MGM Grand, and just went out there. Had no clue what to expect. But yeah, I was out there for about 4 days. And the Tuesday I was out there, last Tuesday, I went out to go see the billboard. And it's one of the biggest ones on the Las Vegas Strip. By square footage, it's the biggest vertical billboard. And it says, Eric sells fitness coaching in seconds. I'll have to put a photo up here for the YouTube video. But it was surreal, man. I'd say like all glory to God, but that was like a moment where I feel like everything that I'd been working on ever since I got into fitness came together, like my online coaching business, modeling, because they found me through Alpha Elite, and obviously running the business up enough to where I would be of value to Nui. So now it's been really cool. We're talking about doing another one. I've sent them a lot of other business with other coaches, but it was amazing, man. That was the biggest reason I was out there for the billboard, but I had a lot of downtime, lost a little bit of money gambling. That was cool. The slot machines, and then ended up going on a date. I don't think I told you that, bro.
Oh, you didn't?
Yeah, the last night I was there, went on a date with a girl that I met, gym girl. That was good. Got a nice dinner, but overall, man, it was such an amazing week. Like all glory to God for that moment. It was surreal, bro. So yeah, appreciate you asking.
I'm glad that you were able to see that, because I feel like a lot of times we only appreciate the moments when they're no longer with us. And one thing I always think to myself is that, like, this is really it. Like, we're doing this podcast right now. We're living in Austin, Texas. We're going to the gym, trying to become the best version of ourselves. Like, this is it. Like, this is what we are working for, what we've been working towards for so long. And I think a lot of times we get so caught up with the current moment that we don't appreciate it as much as we should.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. Let me ask you something, bro. So it's been, less than 2 months since you moved here?
Yeah, it's been about a month and 2 weeks.
Yeah. How's Austin been? Also, where'd you come from?
Yeah, so came from Miami, Florida, wrapped up a wonderful college experience. Not a place that I thought I would ever end up, but I got a scholarship for my grades, believe it or not. In high school, I was very like headstrong and trying to just, always study and stuff. Back in the day, wrapped up that, then drove 1,500 miles to Austin, Texas. And honestly, I'm really enjoying it so far. It's quite nostalgic being here, because I always wanted to go to school at the University of Texas at Austin, but out of state, it's literally like looking for a diamond in a haystack. It's very, very hard to get in. And I was really down when I didn't get in, tried out the Miami thing and ended up absolutely loving it. And then I ended up back here now, almost like as if it was like divine timing, because I came here with no one except my grandparents' 85-year-old Army friends, which I don't think that really is like, like I know someone, but I don't think that's really that strong. Yeah. And then what's cool is that Eric and I, we'd been connected for a long time over social media. Eric ended up swiping up my story. He's like, yo, I watched your video. If you need anything, let me know, which I really appreciate. Like, that was very,
of course, bro.
And then
I don't watch too many YouTube videos. Sorry to cut you off, but like I saw you posted, I'm like, I'm just going to watch this. I had no clue he's coming out of Austin. Watched the whole thing. And once you said that, I was like, whoa, like this could be my guy. Like I had never met him before, but I'm like, I know I could be hanging out with Alex a lot. So yeah, sorry to interrupt. Just wanted to say that.
Yeah, for sure.
By the way, come a little bit closer to the mic.
Yeah. So what's cool with that experience, and this is for anyone, I guess, who's coming to a new place or just adapting to a lot of change, all it takes is one person. One person. When I met Eric here, we obviously had a lot of interest and been on the same wave for a lot of our lives, but we never actually met in the flesh. It always been like FaceTime or call, or like, how can I get more clients, or how can I edit this photo on Lightroom better? And what's cool is that, as you know, we hit the gym, and then we just sat down and talked for 3 hours at just this burger spot that, in all honesty, was quite good.
Yeah,
but it's not like a burger place is ever going to be a 3-hour conversation.
Absolutely.
And I think what's cool about our convo was that because we felt that we were at similar spots, and we'd done similar things in life, we almost naturally just dropped all walls, dropped all barriers, and just talked from like a pure guy-to-guy standpoint where we're trying to improve and stuff. And that's what I feel like formulated this wonderful bond that we have, because you're open and authentic. And I feel like that speaks so much to itself, because in this world, everyone has a mask. Everyone's trying to be someone they're not. And because we just were like, listen, I'm doing this cool stuff, but I got a lot of shit that I'm dealing with right now, a lot of challenges I'm going through. That's what made us both like open up. And I feel like because of that, now we have a strong thing going that we wouldn't have probably had.
Absolutely. Alex and I met up for a workout, and then, we ended up going to get food after Hop Dotty here in Austin. Decent restaurant spot, I say 8 out of 10 burger. But I feel like there's a lot of things on our mind, and that lunch was like very freeing for both of us. We were going through like some similar things, like things of our past. And that is the first time we had ever met in person. And it was like, the way I described it is like, I've known you for years and years and years, but that was literally our first time coming together, and it was very organic, very authentic. And it's hard to find that, bro. And I will say that's why I love Austin so much. Coming from Houston, living there 3.5 years, I've been here 6 months, and just the relationships I've been able to make are much more authentic. And I'm around so many more like-minded people. Because in Houston, bro, not to go on a tangent, but it's a lot of like clout, money, how many followers you got, like Alpha Land. I loved it, but it can definitely be a little bit toxic, and relationships are very transactional. And I never sensed anything that from you at the beginning, and I hope you can sense the same thing from me. But yeah, bro, it was a great conversation. Next question, because I had no clue what you're coming out here to do when I watched your video, but what are you doing for work? Like, what's that looking like now? Because you're fresh out of college. I'm sure a lot of people want to know, what's your career looking like?
Yeah, so I'm involved in tech sales right now, working in Austin. Austin's a tech hub. Obviously, a lot of people know that. And honestly, for me right now, I'm just looking to be in a place where it's forcing me to learn and grow. Now, I've never held like a job in my life. Like, I've always done fitness coaching or edited videos. I worked at Lifetime, but I was with the squad, and we were just like chirping and in the kitchen. So it's been challenging for me to do something where I'm, clocking in and out. But what I've tried to shape my mind around is that every opportunity has an opportunity to grow. And the way I look at it is, right now I have a year lease. Like, I'm here for a year regardless. Not any reason that I would want to leave Austin, but I'm in my apartment for a year. I'm locked in for a year. I'm going to give it my all, be open, try to learn, and then we'll see what happens. But short answer, we're in tech sales, which is, I have some sales experience, but tech is a totally different ballpark.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's just good to keep building that, that sales proficiency in your head with different things, because life is sales, right? You obviously know that as a coach.
Yeah. Absolutely, bro. I first got into sales. You guys that know my story, I was a sales rep at Alpha Land, and that place pretty much sells itself, but it definitely taught me how to be more social, how to have like more genuine conversations with people that are coming in the door and, want to spend some money. So that's what got me, I'd say, like 25% good at sales. And then quitting that job and getting into fitness coaching, that's where everything has changed. Like, my communication skills are so much better. And now teaching other coaches how to start and scale their business, like, I'm teaching them sales. Like, I'm doing this sales training, and it's such an awesome skill. Like, I've told a few people, if I lost everything, say I lost my coaching business, my social media, all that, which I'm not going to speak into existence, I'd probably go sell like luxury cars, bro. Because I think it's just awesome being able to help find a solution for what people need. And I mean, I love cars. It'd be something cool to sell, but I just love the idea of your income being reflective of how hard you work. And a lot of sales is just listening and being a likable person. And humbly speaking, I can say that we're both genuinely some likable people. That's what I always try to keep at the forefront of, when it comes to closing clients for fitness or for business. anything, bro, is just be a likable person, actually listen to the prospect, the client, whatever it may be. And that'll take you so far, bro. I've learned probably in this past year, like listening is everything when it comes to sales, just conversations, and even just being a good friend. You know, a lot of people just want to be listened to. They don't want to be like drilled with advice or things of that nature. What I try to do now when people come and talk to me, whether that's like friends, even family members, is say, are you wanting do you want me to just listen, or are you asking for advice? I think maybe you had brought that up as well, but yeah.
So good. So good. Because I feel like a lot of times we want to just spew our mind on a certain topic, give some thought with maybe it not being warranted. And what I've realized, and Eric and I did talk about this, and I actually brought it up in our Bible study. What was that, 2 weeks ago? Humans, what's interesting about us is we're logical, but we're also emotional. You know, a tiger, a puma, whatever animal, they're going to be logic driven. They're going to eat, they're going to sleep, they're going to, you know, repopulate their population. That's what their time on this earth is for. Humans, we have the blessing and the curse of emotions. And so I think it's important to sometimes, instead of saying, like just dumping whatever you want on that person, to be like, hey, would you prefer me to just sit here with you to listen to you, or can I offer you some thought? And what's cool about that is, in that moment when the adrenaline's high, whether you're going through like a breakup or, you know, you're giving a performance or whatnot, you're not going to right then want the logic and reason because you're so pumped up on adrenaline. But then the next day you can, you know, give them that logic and people will be a lot more receptive of it and they'll appreciate it too. So I think it's interesting and something that, you know, us as young guys, we're still very much working on trying to become better. Because I don't know if you feel this, but it's like, and shout out to my father. He always says, the older I get, the more I realize that the less I know.
Yeah.
It's crazy how life happens like that.
I feel that big time. Oh yeah. Dude, so going back to you coming from Miami, so you were there for 4 years. You're originally from Seattle, right? That's where your family lives. So Austin, Miami, 2 major cities, places that a lot of people our age would want to be. I think I've asked you this off camera, but like, what would you say do you miss most about Miami? And what do you like most about Austin that differs from Miami? Just compare the two. Give me your thoughts on that.
Miami's incredible. And I'm not just talking because of what people think I'm talking about. Like, obviously, if you want to have a good time, if you want to party, if you want to do all that stuff, go ahead. You're young. You know, life is short. Live. But the reason I like Miami is because there's literally something for everyone. It's a big enough city that it has room for whatever you're looking for. If you're looking for that party scene, you got it. If you're looking, you know, to get into the health and fitness, you got it. If you're wanting to spend time in nature, there's not mountains or anything like in Seattle, but you can find it. And so I feel like what I've realized through that experience is that you get exactly what, let me rephrase that. You attract who you are. And so the energy you put out is exactly what's going to come back to you. Because when I started going to Miami at the start, I was nervous because I was like, I've never been this huge party kid who wants to just, you know, be up till 5 a.m. and be drunk and hungover. The whole weekend's like just gone. And I realized that I was trying to do that at the start because that's what I thought that I had to do to be there. Yeah. Then the more I matured, the more I grew, I realized, okay, if those people, if we took away the partying and everything, like I wouldn't have anything in common with them. And so it took me down a lonely chapter where I wasn't really fitting in, didn't really have anything to do on a Friday night. But then over time, because I was sticking to my authentic self, it brought those people around me who I truly love and cherish. And I think that, like many things, we were just talking about this, you don't appreciate things until you're gone. I knew this when I was about to leave because I did accept this job in Austin. It was happening. And what I ended up doing the last week, which I encourage anyone to do who's in South Florida, is there's like Miami Beach, but then south of it, this place called South Point Park, right? It's really cool because it's where the cruise ships come out, the cargo ships. And so you like are literally like, not me and you like 10, 15 feet apart, but you can literally like feel the weight of the ship and the wind on your face as it passes. And so what I did the last week is I would get up at sunrise. It was on rest days because didn't want to throw off my gym routine, but on rest days. So every like 3 days, I would go to South Point Park, swim in the ocean as the sun was rising when the sea was calm. I would be underwater with my glasses and there'd be like schools of fish just surrounding me like in every direction that I looked. And so that started my day with some exercise and just being in the ocean, which is something that I absolutely love doing. And then I'd go to the beach and just read, whether that was like some Bible or just like a book I'm reading. I would read that for a little bit, close my eyes, you know, drift in and out of consciousness, and, you know, the sun's on me, and dude, it's really cool. Yeah. But I would say that Miami is a city that you got to check it out. And I think that when you live in a city, it's obviously different than when you're, visiting a city. Because when you're there for a week, you know what you're gonna do, and it's gonna be pretty predetermined. But when you live there, when you have extended time there, you're gonna do things you wouldn't have thought you had done before. And it's been a really cool chapter. Yeah, I never saw it coming, but after looking back, it's one of Miami definitely has my heart.
Yeah.
But I'm very happy to be in Austin now.
Yeah. I was honestly surprised when you first told me all that, bro, because it seems like you're the opposite of the Miami standard.
Yeah, literally.
You guys that follow me on Instagram, I've been making like all these skits of like the Miami course gurus, stuff like that. I feel like, again, Miami is kind of like all about money, like flex culture. And a lot of those people, their lifestyle is rented. I've only been to Miami once. I went last year with Manning and my boy Adrian. We went for a day. I mean, we stayed in Fort Lauderdale, went to Miami, took the train for a day, and we had a blast, bro. Spent a lot of money. I mean, everything there is expensive, but it was worth it. But even in one night, bro, I saw just like the treatment, bro. You roll up in a Lamborghini, any sort of like nice supercar, you get the VIP treatment at the clubs. We met this guy that owned a rental car agency for like supercars, luxury cars. We pulled up in this like BMW X5 comp, like one of like 50 BMWs. Rolled up to like this one club, parked for free. He said, yeah, like I know so-and-so here, got in for free, like free drinks. I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. And it's all, first thing is the car. So that brings me to the question of how much of that, like, flexing culture did you see there? And would you say that most people that are in Miami are like broke and renting that lifestyle? What are your thoughts?
It's interesting because being there for 4 years, obviously you experience a lot of stuff, and that's a long enough time to see through all the facades that Miami so commonly embodies. I would say, relating back to here in Austin, Miami and Austin are similar cities. There's a lot of wealth, but in Miami, it's everyone tries to show that they have status and image without actually having it.
Yeah.
And in Austin, people have status, image, or status and fame rather, but like it's anonymous. You can be driving like a normal car and you still have it because you don't feel like you need that to have that, right? People here are focused on God, on their business, on their family. And then I feel like in Miami, to a degree, God and their family, but it's all about just looking the part because again, like the exact energy around Miami is all about trying to be the coolest person.
Yeah.
The quote that I was thinking of that I couldn't say earlier was that you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. And so relating it back to your question, I realized that a lot of it was fake, but what's crazy is that when I was in my sophomore year, so year 2, I was trying to like be that fake Miami stereotype in a way. And it's not even like I've never been that, but because everyone around me, and that was kind of in my party arc, I was rushing a frat at the same time I dropped it, but I was exposed to that and it made me kind of want to do that stuff. So I was trying to like, whenever I was somewhere, or even if I wasn't there, making it kind of look like I was there, to just kind of seek validation from, other people, other women and stuff like that. And it's like a thing that I feel like you have to go through it to become better after.
Absolutely.
You can't really just shortcut it. It's like what did they say? 10 of the most common things that older people tell us are like, money won't make you happy, fame won't fix your self-image, you'll get over the breakup even though you think you won't. All that stuff is stuff that we know. Yet it's so interesting because I feel like we have to go through it to actually be like, okay, Dad, okay, Grandpa, you were right. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry that I didn't accept it. I just couldn't understand it because I didn't go through it. What do you think about that?
Yeah, dude, I absolutely agree. I've gone through that pretty recently. I just sold my car, which I love that thing. I had a Lexus LC 500, and the reason I got it last May was I was fresh out of a relationship. Got out of a relationship November 2023, hit a big low and became depressed, like lost a lot, but I was able to get back up on my feet. Like you said, like I knew I would eventually get over the breakup, but to cope with it in the meantime, I was like, let me just make it look like I'm doing really well. And objectively, I was doing pretty good. Like coaching was doing decent. Like I was single again. I mean, no pets, no kids, no nothing. So like all the money I make, I can keep for myself. So I was like, let me get this car. Like it looks like a super car. It's like an exotic Lexus LC 500, very rare car, but I got it just because I felt like, okay, I got out of this relationship. Now I want to look like I'm just absolutely killing it. I got broken up with. Let me like almost quote unquote win the breakup, get the car. And all I really cared about, I feel like with getting that was like, the attention from other people. And I definitely got like a little bit of an ego with it. And recently, I mean, almost, a year later, I got rid of it just because I got kind of tired of like feeling attached to it. Like I definitely idolized the car a good bit, and getting deeper in my faith, I felt like God was telling me, Eric, humble yourself, get rid of the car. It doesn't matter what other people think. Even rolling up to the gym, bro, like here in Austin, like I would see people look at me and I got kind of like a dopamine rush about that. But I was like, this car isn't doing anything for me. Furthermore, I was having issues. Like I had to get new brakes replaced, this, that, and the other thing. So I was like, okay. Also, I'm paying stupid interest on it. Like, you know, me, like I can be a cheapskate. I love finances. So I got rid of it, bro. And I will say the day I got rid of it, I felt like this sense of peace. Like God was telling me, Eric, you did the right thing. And I ended up getting a Tesla due to financial reasons, 0% APR, brand new, 100,000 mile warranty. Like my CPA told me, Eric, if you're going to get any car, get the Tesla. And it's nice because, I mean, Tesla's still a very awesome car, but it's not like, you know, you're driving down the road, you're like, whoa, there's a Tesla. You see them all over the place, like a Honda Civic. But in that Lexus, I kind of felt like I definitely had a bit of an ego with it. And I didn't need it anymore, bro. It wasn't serving me any purpose. But on top of that, like it's easy in the coaching industry, and now being a business coach, you almost kind of have to flex your materialistic things in a sense to get clients. But that's so totally not true. Like the way that I market myself now as a business coach is like, I'm going to be the opposite of that. I'm not going to be the guy, the quote unquote Miami core seller guru who's going to flex the Lambo, the Rolex, the penthouse. Like I have a very great life. I have nice stuff. I mean, this apartment building that I live in, it's awesome, bro, but I don't need to flex it to get business clients. Like the guys that I want to attract, I don't want guys that are in it for the money, in it for the flexing, things like that. But like you said, I feel like I needed to go through it to understand that's not going to give me fulfillment. It only caused me anxiety, bro. I'm at a lot more peace. I have everything I want in life materialistically. The thing I value the most is my freedom. That's why I love my job so much, why I'm a little bit hesitant to date. Like I've been single for almost 2 years now, but I know that the time will come, but like I'm really just enjoying my freedom right now. Even going to Vegas, bro, being able to like just leave, not have to worry about any pets or like a girlfriend here, nothing like that, no kids. You know, 26, I eventually want a family, but I value my freedom so much. So yeah, bro, sorry for the rant.
Always a pleasure to hear TED Talks from Eric. Talk to me about your faith, because I feel like in times of struggle, like a breakup, for example, you mentioned that was really what lit the flame for you. I'm curious, how did it start and how has it gotten to where it is right now?
Yeah. So November of 2023 was when I got out of a relationship. And a lot of you guys who have been following me for some time kind of know where I was at in that point of life. I had a big house in Houston. I was living with my ex-girlfriend. Dude, I had no God in my life whatsoever. The only time that I would pray was when stuff went really wrong. I remember I prayed to God when I lost my Instagram account. And before that, bro, like I never prayed regularly. I never really thought twice about like God. I mean, I grew up Christian, but it was never really something that I invested into. I never had a want and a need. And that's what I say now, like, when you come to your faith, like when you finally accept Christ into your life, you have to have a want and a need for it. That's why most people's testimonies, like they get to meet God when they're at a low. And that's exactly what happened to me. So my ex broke up with me. Like I was very angry at the world, angry at what happened. I was definitely in love with her, bro. So I lost the house because we were living together. I wasn't going to keep that. Had to pay out all the losses on the house, like let go of the security deposit. I had to pay her for everything that we had split, furniture, appliances, everything. So I lost like a good bit of money, and I thought about just like moving back home and saying, screw it, like I'm done with this. I even texted my mom. I said, I think I'm going to move back home and just restart life. And I was definitely depressed. And the only thing I wanted was to feel normal again. So I don't think it's by coincidence at all, but many people in my life brought me to God. Adrian Stover, like my bodybuilding coach, Luke Jones, my college roommate who was in medical school at the time, our friend Miles, who comes to our Bible study, all these people, even meeting Manning, like all brought me to Christ. And I was like, this is something that like I need in my life right now. And I just felt called to it, bro. So I joined a church in Houston called Hope City. I went through a 12-week Bible study called Freedom, which was kind of meant for people that were new to the church, new to their faith. Like it started at like ground zero, bro, like just understanding the story of Jesus Christ. think that's another reason why I never thought much about faith, is like I never wanted to get into the Bible. I never wanted to really understand the story of like Jesus Christ, the resurrection. I never even understood what Christmas was for, bro, or Easter, any of these like Christian holidays. We just celebrate them in my family. But yeah, bro, that's essentially what happened. And since then, bro, I'd say it was December when I really gave my life to Christ. It's had its highs and its lows, bros. I definitely yo-yoed with my faith, but our conversation, like when you had first moved here, I'd say that's when everything was starting to change, bro. Like I feel like at that point I fully surrendered my life to Christ and gave up things that were holding me back, such as like vices, my mindset, scarcity mindset, the way that I was like running my business. I was doing well objectively, but there are things that I was holding on to that I didn't want to let go to God. And since giving those things up, bro, the last month and a half, almost 2 months have been like life-changing, beyond pivotal. And that's why like within my content, there's been a big shift within that. And that's, I feel like God working in my life, me not being afraid to put my true authentic self out there. I essentially just stopped caring what other people think, bro. And that's why I got rid of my car. I was like, I don't care what people think about me having this car. I stopped caring what people thought about me on social media. But the type of content I post, like I am proud to say that I am like my true authentic raw self online. And that has resulted in nothing but blessing, overflow, and abundance. And I feel like I've disassociated myself from the money, because I was idolizing money for some time, even like while being, invested into God. Like that was something I was idolizing. You cannot do that at all. But I'll say, since removing myself, taking a step back and just focusing on the impact that I'm leaving on my clients and people that follow me on social media, the more impact that I extend, the more that comes my way, the more blessing, overflow, and abundance. So it's been life-changing, bro, but I'm not trying to let it get to me. I'm trying to make sure I stay humble. I don't let my ego get inflated, because it's so easy in this game, bro, to let the ego get to you. Because the reason that my relationship ended was because I had an ego. I was feeding into the flesh. I was like smoking copious amounts of weed, and my anxiety was at an all-time high, and my girlfriend at the time couldn't handle that anymore. And looking back now, I totally understand why that happened. God had to remove everything from my life that was fueling my ego, the house, my relationship, etc., for me to finally come to him. So back then, dude, I was angry at everything, but I'm so thankful that it all happened, because, dude, I would be afraid of where I'm at now if I never accepted Christ into my life. So all that being said, bro, I had to really be broken down to be built back up, but it wasn't something that happened just in a few weeks, a couple months. Like I'd say it was almost, over a year and a half till I fully surrendered to God. And I'm now like living that life, and I have that overwhelming sense of peace and abundance and blessing. And I know life is going to get hard at some point, but I know now how to carry myself. And I said at the Bible study the other night, like I was dipping my toes in the water with my faith and giving myself to God. Now it's like I've jumped both feet in. So now I know how to handle that crisis or, low times in my life going forward, because we're going to have them with no doubt.
It's same thing as one of my favorite ideas, and this is to Kapil Gupta's wisdom. You cannot get a feel for the ocean with 1 foot firmly in the sand.
Yep.
And it's like so often we try to, experience something, but you can't actually experience it unless you're in it, like you're 100%. That's why I feel like part of the problem in relationships is people tend to be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You got to be in or you got to be out. I was going to ask you, so for anyone who's trying to, tap into their faith, I know that you're a lot deeper into it. And for longer than I have, what would you say are things that have helped you strengthen that relationship? And for anyone that's like, I want this, I want to receive Jesus, but I don't know how would you answer that?
Yeah, great question, man. You can't do it on your own. You cannot. So I feel like no matter what place you're at in life, you can find other godly men, godly women around you, whether it's people in your family, your friends, your workspace, whatever it may be. I mean, it might take some work to find those people, but surround yourself with people that are ahead of you. That's what I did. And they kind of taught me like how to get closer to God. And that came with first, like, okay, what do I read in the Bible? I don't even understand what's going on. What are all these different books? What's the Old Testament, New Testament? Read the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. We're doing a Bible study about John right now. Probably one of the best books in the Bible that you can read to understand the story of Jesus Christ. And that book alone changed everything for me. But like I said, bro, you can't do it on your own. So find other people around you, whether it's going to a church. If you have to go by yourself, that's fine, but put yourself out there, meet other people, start new conversations. Like it's a whole lot easier to go to a church and talk to people than meeting people at the gym or a grocery store. You know, people are in their own world there, but at church, like most churches, people want you to come to Christ. They want to have those conversations. They're willing to give you your time. So yeah, bro, don't be selfish. Put your ego aside and let others kind of guide you and carry you through. And if you're going to take anything actual away from this, get into the word. Like literally just reading God's word is how you can get close to God. So the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. John is, I think, a really good one to start out with, because that's the story of Jesus Christ. I know even people, I haven't watched the show, but what's it called? Everyone's watching it. Oh, I can't think of it. If it comes up, I'll say it. But many people are at our Bible study have watched it. The Chosen, that one. People talked about that show. If you want something to watch The Chosen. I definitely want to watch it, but I'd never watched TV. So let's flip it, bro. What do you think has helped you kind of foster your relationship and get deeper in your faith?
I think for me, it's been something that, like many things I didn't plan for, it kind of happened to me.
Yeah.
So I've always been very spiritual. My family's always been spiritual. We've always believed in something bigger, something guiding us. And recently I read this book called The Surrender Project. I forget who it's by, but it's a wonderful book. And it's basically the story of this guy, Michael Singer's the name. And it's this amazing life journey about how he goes from being a monk in the woods to being like basically a billionaire. I think he was a billionaire, and it's about how he stopped fighting life and he started just going with life.
Yeah.
And I think this is something even deeper than the book, because a lot of us, we tend to know what to do, but we do not do what we know. We feel things. We have these feelings going inside of us, brewing inside of us, thinking, I should do this, but we don't do it because change is scary and it hurts and it doesn't feel good. And I was talking about this in my last video, like a caterpillar going to a butterfly. I can tell you probably for a fact, even though it is happening, the caterpillar does not know why it's happening. It does not know what is happening. It does not know if it is worth it, and does not know if it can go back to ultimately fulfill its destiny. And so I feel like for me, my faith journey, it's always been growing. I actually grew up Jewish, and I had a bar mitzvah, believe it or not. But I feel like recently the people I've been surrounded with have just led me to really just, like you said, jumping in the pool of Christianity. And I would say that the main person who I look at is my ex-girlfriend. So for perspective, I've been out of a relationship about 2 months now. And she's the one who really got me to go 100% in. And I was probably starting my journey, but she really just helped me. And so we started going to church and we started having these discussions. And it's just something that, again, like I couldn't plan for, but it's happened to me. And the people I've been surrounded with have just been very into their faith. And I see that these people have their faith, and, you know, life is going to be hard no matter what, but to have your faith is something that you can always lean on. The people seem to be happier as a whole and better as a whole. And so I feel like for me, it's just inevitably been growing. And it's to the point where I've been going to church regularly now, reading the word, and just having these discussions with people. And it all goes back to authenticity and vulnerability. I've had these discussions with people, and some people will be like, Alex, like why can't we just talk about, you know, what we're doing this weekend? Mm-hmm. But it's only through that you attract the right people, and you don't need a lot of people. You just need a few people. And I think that, you know, it's something really amazing, because once you're on this path, once you realize that, you know, Jesus is the way, the truth, the life, it's the path that, you know, the path that's worth pursuing and following.
Amen. Amen. Dude, I'll say one of my favorite things about Austin, something I invited you to that you're now a part of, is every Thursday here at this building. I'm not going to say where I live, but here on the 12th floor we're at right now, we're in like the amenity space. We have a Bible study that my good friend Manning leads. Hope maybe Manning, you're watching this. What's up? I kind of like open it, and then our friend Cameron will like take prayer requests at the end. Like there's a few of us that are involved with it, but we're the ones who started it. And it started with like 6 or 7 people the first week. And I think this past Thursday was our 24th week or something. And it's like always 20 plus people now. At the peak, it was at like 28, 29. Like we're going to need a bigger room. But that Thursday night, bro, I look forward to so much. And there's some weeks where I'm like, oh shoot, like I have a lot to do. I have like client stuff to catch up on. But when I go, I'm so thankful that I'm able to speak with everyone there, have those discussions about God and like diving deeper into the word. And then at the end, it's like an overwhelming sense of peace. And I think you said that the first time you went, it's like your soul felt.
I said my soul just felt good.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. And, you know, I tell people when they first come, like, just come, listen. You don't have to say anything. If it's for you, like, keep coming. And it's been cool to see you keep coming back and actually contribute to it. But that started with just a few of us. It was like 5 of us that started it, 4 of us that started it, me, Todd, Cameron, Manning. Yeah, that was really it.
It's out from the bottom and now you're here.
Exactly, bro. So yeah, if you have maybe a few friends around you that are, you know, share your faith with you, maybe start like a Bible study or go somewhere every week, like a coffee shop or whatever it may be, someone's house, someone's apartment, go to the freaking amenity space, and just have conversations about God. All we do, we go through the book of John, we read a chapter, we have a few key verses, and then Manning will run a few supporting questions to it. And they're like very open-ended questions, bro. Like last Thursday night, we had one question for like almost an hour. It was crazy. But dude, those conversations allow me to get so many different perspectives deeper than just the word, because we can interpret it on our own. Like I have a study Bible, the footnotes help me out a little bit. But once I hear other people that are at different points in their faith, a lot of them a lot further, it's like, wow, like that has really helped, I'd say, accelerate my knowledge and my wisdom and my intimacy with God. So yeah, bro, how would you like rate that Bible study so far? Because you've been at what, probably like 6 or 7 of them?
I think this week was probably the 5th week.
Yeah.
It's wonderful having the sense of community because, I mean, in the Bible, it literally says a kingdom divided cannot stand. I think that's in Matthew's. And it's amazing to have this sense of community because I feel like in the world with our skin color and, you know, where we stand politically, everyone's divided. And so I think it's powerful to have those moments where everyone is brought together. It's like, it does not matter how much you make or what you do or how you identify. We are all here for the same reason, to get deeper in our faith, and not even just to receive, but to celebrate, to glorify God. I think that oftentimes at church, and I've only been going for about 2 months, and so I'm still just very much learning every single day. I used to be like, why are we doing this worship? Like, can't we just get to the word?
Been there too, bro. Trust me.
And I realized that it's not for anything of me. Obviously, some songs I like more than others, but it is to glorify God, to give him praise. You know, Jesus Christ died on the cross to give us light and salvation. And that is the reason why we should not be afraid. And so I think that, again, it comes back to community. For me, the most important thing in my life are the people around me, my friends and family, like everyone who's in my circle. And I do not have a big circle, but everyone who's in there, I would literally take a bullet for, because that's how much they mean to me. Because I know that for me, like, that is the most important thing. And I think that goes back to us on, you know, social media and the journey, how, I don't know about you, but I used to spend so much time isolated in my room being like, I'm not going to go out because I need to post 3 videos a day and, you know, make sure I'm getting my metrics. Mm-hmm. But you realize that people, and I believe animals too, those are like things that are worth fighting for, worth making time for, because like life really does go by quick. I mean, I'm 22, you're 26. I just feel like I graduated high school in many ways, and it's just like, here I am. So yeah, I think that the Bible study is a wonderful thing. Like you said, not every week you want to go, not every week, you know, it's the top of mind. You know, some nights you'd rather just be at home, cook a good meal, and, you know, listen to some music. But I think that it's very powerful, and the fact that everyone realizes that we're not perfect. You know, the church we go to here says imperfect people pursuing a perfect God. That's like their bar. And I think that, you know, everyone's getting closer because we're opening up and realizing that not everyone has it figured out. In reality, no one has it figured out.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely, bro.
It's a great part of the week. And I think you said it's kind of like your pick me up, and I feel that 100%.
Yeah, dude. So we go to Red Rocks here in Austin. That's where we're going. I've been going the past like couple months, and since you moved here, you've been going there. I will say, bro, I think you were there that week. We can be very critical of like the church service. Oh, was the worship good? Was how was the sermon? Oh, I like this, I like that, blah, blah, blah. One particular sermon, I forget who did it. It was called, It's Not About Me. And the pastor literally brought up, you know, we can all be so critical of going to church, even Red Rocks. Oh, like the worship, oh, it wasn't too good today. The sermon, oh, it wasn't really hitting. But it's like, instead of asking, you know, how did I like that? Or did I like the worship? Did I like the sermon? Ask, would God like that? Would God like the fact that this sermon was brought up today, that this song was played? And I think there's a lot of power to that, bro. It's kind of just like removing your ego from the church. Like, what can you get out of it? Would God appreciate this? Because I'm not gonna lie, I've been very critical of church services when I've been, even like when I went to Hope City in Houston. It was awesome, great church, more of like a mega church, but there's certain things I could be very critical about. But it's like, dude, just remove yourself and ask, would God appreciate this? Not so much of like, oh, did I like it? And that's like, you can always change around churches if it's not really for you, but you can always appreciate, no matter how good or how bad the sermon was, how good or how bad the worship was, like, would God appreciate that?
It's for us, right? It's something way bigger.
Amen. Amen. Dude, I want to go to something a little bit lighter. I think I may have asked you this when we got that burger at Hot Toddy. So there's this one guy I love on YouTube. His name is Vin Jang, and you guys can take this away. In any conversation, I literally brought this up on the date that I was on in Vegas. It's a game. It's called High, Low, Water Buffalo. So I'm going to ask you first, high, low, water buffalo. High, give me a high in your life. Anything that's going great, phenomenal. Like, dude, this is a high. A low, same thing, just obviously opposite. A low. Then water buffalo is just a fun fact, because most people that are watching this probably already know us. So yeah, bro, give me a high, low, water buffalo.
This is so awesome. I never did I think we'd be talking about this. Water buffalo is a word that I haven't heard since like 5th grade geography. But all right, I'll start with a low. As I said, and Eric and I have talked a lot about this. I am going through a breakup. It's been about 2 months, and I just want to say, for anyone who's going through it, it is never easy. And I feel like the fact that it is not easy is actually something that is worth thinking about, because the reason it's not easy is because you had a genuine connection, a genuine love, which is something that is truly like special in today's world. And it's tough, like, you know, have my highs, have my lows, and, you know, some days are better than others, but I just want to tell you to keep going, because what I believe, and this has only been brought and understood deeper to me by my faith, is that you have to keep moving if you want God to show you the way. If you're sitting there, if you're in cement, he can't do anything for you. But if you're going, if your ship is sailing, he can be that wind for you. He can stir you in the right direction, but you got to keep moving. And so I want to say that because a lot of us go through it, and a lot of us are like, oh, like, especially on social media, like, just keep going. But it's okay to sit with those thoughts, and you should really feel it out. And, you know, if you need to cry, cry. Like, I've been there, because I believe that suppressed grief becomes emotional debt. And if you don't deal with it now, it's going to hit you out of nowhere later. So deal with this. So sorry, that was a bit of a TED talk.
Oh, you're good, bro. Let's pause right there before you give the high. My camera just overheated. Okay. My camera just overheated, but we are back. We are now onto Alex's high and high, low water buffalo.
I would say my high is recently what I've been doing on YouTube. I feel like I've not been dropping often, but it's opened up an interesting thought in my mind where it's like, what if less is more? What if I'm not posting every single week? What if I'm posting once a month, but I'm working essentially a month on that project, you know, kind of having an idea, but not 100% of what I'm going to do, and just like having fun with it. And I feel like sometimes it shows up in my content, because if you're doing it every single day, if you're pumping it out, it can be just like, you know, like like it never ends. But sometimes you got to take a step back to go forward. So I feel like I've been having fun doing kind of short form. I like to call them like one movie each month of like what I'm thinking about and, you know, where I'm at and, you know, all that stuff. So I think that's my high. In terms of my water buffalo, this is the exciting one, right?
Oh yeah.
So I would say a fun fact about me is I'm a geography nerd. Like I know every single flag in the world. Back in 8th grade science class in Redmond, I would literally be like on this website called Sporkle, where it has like flags of the world, and it have like 192 flags, and like you type it in and you like hit enter, see if it's right or wrong. And I would literally be so bored sometimes that I would just run it, and I would literally run it and run it and run it. And so I know every single flag, and I always have had an interest in, you know, geography and different kinds of people. One of my big things has always been that I like to learn a little bit in another language so I can speak a little bit. I mean, more than a little bit of Spanish, but also a bit of Mandarin and Arabic and Hindi and Russian, because I always like to talk to people in their native language, because in America, and English is like the language of the world, but I feel like it's really special when you can come to someone with their language, because then they feel comfortable and fit into their world rather than having them fit into your world like we often do. So that's my high, low water buffalo. Right back to you.
Yes, sir. So wait, you're fluent in Russian, correct?
German.
Excuse me. So you know a little bit of Mandarin?
A little bit.
Yeah, that's sweet. What other language would you want to know fluently other than German and English?
I mean, I would just like to take Spanish because it's already, I'd say like 3 out of 10. You know, I would like to take that up because I already have a lot of experience in Miami. The first language is Spanish. Like you'll be at Subway and they'll be like speaking to you. You know, hablo inglés.
Yeah.
So, like that is a thing. But I don't know. Like I think Mandarin's a very powerful language, but my favorite language to hear is French. German's like a very like chaotic language. Like it's not sexy at all, but French is just very soothing and very elegant in its manner. So I'd love to speak some French, go to Paris for a year and just, you know, have my little apartment, bed, computer, and just like enjoy that, speak French and just really embrace it. Cause I feel like when you go to places, like if you are speaking English versus when you're speaking the native tongue, it's like a 9-day difference. It's like when you have a friend there versus when you're there alone.
Yeah.
Now, if you have a friend there and you speak it, like bada bing, you're literally like a citizen. So yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, dude, I know a little bit of Spanish. I took 3 years in high school. No, I know a lot of vocabulary words, like random ones, like montar el caballo, to ride a horse. Like, anyways.
Did you use that on your date?
No, I did not. I did not. But like, I can have a conversation in Spanish, but like, I can pick up on a lot of words. The thing is, people that are fluent in it speak so fast. But in high school Spanish, you're speaking like 5 miles an hour. And then like people that are fluent are speaking like a good 60, you know, it's tough. But I always wonder, like, if you don't know English, how would we sound at the speed that we talk, like our cadence, our tone, all that? I mean, we use a lot of slang. We use a lot of filler words like, but every stuff like
has
that.
their things.
For sure. For sure. Anyways, let's get into it, bro. High, low, water buffalo for Eric.
So fidget spinner.
Yeah. Dude, I was getting all my stuff ready because I live at this building and we're on a different floor. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to grab the fidget spinner. Whenever I'm on calls with clients, sales calls, coaching calls, anything, like this thing's always under my desk. If you're watching on the YouTube right now, you don't even know I'm spinning it, but it keeps me occupied. Anyways, high, low, water buffalo. So my high would be, dude, like business is just cranking right now. I definitely had been stuck for like the last year with, I mean, the level that I was stuck at is great objectively. Years ago, I like would have done anything to be where I'm at now, but I know that I'm capable of much more given my skills, my knowledge, my resources, and just my current mentors. So things have just been really good. And I will say the reason for that has been the shift in my content, just being my true, raw, authentic self and focusing on building my personal brand. Like it has changed everything. And I'm just like, dang, I wish I would have started this sooner because it's a lot more fun. It's more engaging, and the amount of like DMs I've gotten from people, not even clients, has just been super rewarding. But booking way more calls and just focusing on the impact, not like, let me get the next sale. And I've put a big focus on Fitness Freedom Mastery, which is my second coaching offer for online coaches that want to start and scale their businesses. And that offer is a lot more, there's a lot more that's included with it versus my fitness offer. So obviously it's going to, I'm going to charge more for it. It's a lot higher skill. It's more of my time. It's very intimate. It's very one-on-one, but my students are like killing it right now. I just had one of my students, I won't say who, just hit his best month, 14K in a month. Started with me 4.5 months ago. And that's just like mind boggling because the whole goal is to get coaches to the first 5 to 10K a month. That range income wise, I mean, for a coaching business that's doing, you don't have many expenses other than like your systems, a few $100 a month. That is a full-time income. You can pay your rent, you can pay your car payment, all that stuff, 5 to 10K a month, you know, that's most 9 to 5 jobs. And that's life-changing, bro. I'm not here to help guys get to like 20, 30, 40, $50,000 a month. I'm not one of those gurus who's going to pitch that, but if you put in the work, you can take it way faster or way further than 10K a month. Going back to high, low, water buffalo. Yeah. Business has been insane. God is good, giving him all the glory and just not focusing on the money. The money's reflective of the impact. My low, on a lighter note, is my freaking knee. I'm wearing a knee brace right now. Let me show the camera. Pretty sure I tore my meniscus. I got really into running when I moved out here to Austin, did a half marathon with Alphalete, got a killer time, 1:50 at 200 pounds. So I'd say that was pretty good. I was averaging like an 8:32 mile. That's the best I'd ever felt on a run, bro. No aches, no pains, nothing. And then when I came back, started to train, like I told myself I wanted to do a full marathon by the end of the year. Bro, every run, my knee started just like buckling, started getting a little bit more pain, started creeping in. Then the weekend my parents were out here visiting, I went on a run in the morning before I was going to go meet them. And the rest of the day, I couldn't even walk. Like my knee was just shot. Then my mom went out and got this knee brace that I'm wearing now. And I need to get an MRI, bro. Like I have health insurance, got that this year because I turned 26, but I've just been lazy. And I think it's because I don't want to hear that my knee is torn, my meniscus, but all my symptoms go to torn meniscus. And I've not been able to run. Like I did Stairmaster this morning, and that's what caused it to get messed up. Coming down here to get all the pod equipment ready, I'm like, my knee is killing me. So let me put on the brace. That's my low. Got to get that figured out. And then water buffalo. I didn't tell you this, bro, but when I was in Vegas, I got a DM from Mr. USA. Yeah, they reached out to me. And one of my good friends, Hayden Green, he's like a fitness influencer. He's representing Ohio. And I was like, okay, like, let me look into this. They wanted me to audition for it. And the audition was literally a phone call. So I responded to the DM. I was like, yeah, I'm interested. So I got on the phone with, I think it's like their president. His name is Gino Cabrera, really cool guy. He's like, hey man, I was going through your social media and I saw you're from Georgia. You live in Texas, but we need someone from Georgia to represent because our original Mr. Georgia had something come up and he couldn't fulfill the role. So he's like, would you be interested? I'm like, yeah, dude. Because like next month they're flying everyone out to LA, having everyone stay in this mansion. They're doing all these different auditions, essentially, like all this cool stuff. So I'm in Vegas. This is the day that I was on the billboard. I'm out by the pool. I'm enjoying a drink. I was like, you know what? This calls for a drink. I'm going to get a margarita. So I get a call from this guy named Gino. He's like, hey man, do you have time to interview? It's like, yeah, sure. Ask me all these questions. I give like really good responses, slight buzz going from the marg. Like I ripped it. And he's like, dude, like usually we take a few days to offer this, but like love this interview. You seem like very stand-up guy, blah, blah, blah. Would you like to represent Georgia for Mr. USA 2025? I was like, yeah, dude, let's run it. So don't get too excited quite yet. So came back from the trip, and then I realized, bro, the dates that this is supposed to be, I have a client competing that I already booked a trip for in Georgia. So I had a call with the guy. I was like, hey man, unfortunately, like I don't think I can do it this year. I have a client that's competing and like I already booked my travel, everything. I didn't even like hit my mind that it's the same dates. It's like August 23rd through the 30th, and my client competes on August 25th. So yeah, bro. And along with that, I looked into more Mr. USA. I think it's really cool, but I just don't know if it's really for me. Like it's more for like, yeah, I do a lot of modeling, but they're trying to get like people casted for like a reality show, like something like that. Yeah. And I'm like, that's not really my vibe. Like, and also I know I'm probably not going to win it out of 50 people, like humbly speaking. I could probably give it a good shot. But they also wanted me to do like a dance and stuff. Like, bro, I'm not a dancer at all. So I was like, okay, this probably isn't for me. Like my client would understand if I couldn't go to the show because there's a huge opportunity. But I had a call with him. I was like, hey man, like definitely want to stay in touch for like next year, but unfortunately, like I won't be able to make it this year. He's like, yeah, totally fine. So essentially that is my fun fact. I was for like a few days, Mr. USA, but now not anymore. Otherwise, like if I would have done it, I would have got flown out to LA, stayed in this mansion, done all this cool stuff. It sounded really cool. I would have to do like a swimsuit competition, which is essentially like what I do for bodybuilding. It's like board shorts. I would have gotten like peeled for it. I would have to get super in shape. They do like a tuxedo, sort of like a runway, not competition, but it's like, I guess like a fashion show. They rate you on like your looks and everything. A lot of like interviews, asking about like your career, your story, blah, blah, blah. It's essentially like a men's pageant, you know, but yeah, I'm not totally turned off. I might do it next year. I think it'd be cool to get my brand out there, and I think it would get me a lot of business. But that is my fun fact. For like 4 days, I was in Mr. Georgia 2025. Now I guess they're trying to find someone new. So yeah, that is my high-low water buffalo.
Where do you see like your content going? I know you've been changing it up recently.
Yeah.
Do you have like a year where you see it going, or like what are you thinking in your head?
Yeah, dude. It's a great question. I've thought about that a lot lately. I want to keep like health and fitness at the core of it, but dude, I don't really, like all the information's out there for fitness. What I am really good at is shifting beliefs of people, of my clients, of my business students, helping them overcome self-limiting beliefs, because I have had all those self-limiting beliefs before. I can still struggle with them, but for anyone that wants to get into better shape, I love just being able to shift their mindset and their beliefs. And that is what my content is aimed at doing now, through talking about my personal experiences and also just, being a motivator. But someone I really look up to, who is actually at our Bible study, is Higher Up Wellness. I love how he kind of got started with health and fitness, and now he's moving more towards like just kind of appealing to almost anyone. Like, I don't want to appeal to just the fitness industry, because that's like a fraction of the people that are, here on earth, living in the United States, Canada, whatever, that all speak English. Like, those are people that I can target. But the fitness industry is such a fraction of that. And I feel like the fitness industry has definitely gone down a bit these past couple of years. And you have to now more than ever be able to differentiate yourself. So now that is why I'm like all about personal brand and like separating myself from all these other fitness coaches and influencers and stuff. Like, I love, again, keeping fitness at the core. I love representing Alpha Elites, Gorilla Mind, my brands. I want to maintain those relationships, but I want to appeal to a larger audience than just people that need coaching, people that want to grow their fitness business. I see myself, like, this might sound kind of crazy, but I would love to get into public speaking in some sort of way. And like, I have a lot to work on as far as my communication, my delivery, which is, I think, great while we're doing this podcast. I can work on that. I did a podcast last Sunday as well. A guy in Austin invited me on, but I truly do. Sorry. I wish. But I truly do see myself speaking in front of like a large crowd of people, men specifically, that are just underperforming in life and just need an example to follow. And I want to be that example in all areas, in health, fitness, faith, finances, all areas, bro. I'm so much more passionate about things outside of just fitness, like my faith, my finances. I call it like the three big F's: faith, fitness, and finance. I love being able to help mentor younger guys. And there's many guys at this Bible study I've been able to have really good conversations with and kind of be that helping hand to helping them become a more confident, healthier, more successful, just more disciplined version of themselves. And I just want my content to encapsulate all of that, if that makes sense, through getting my voice out there. I feel like you have to get your voice out there now if you want to build a good personal brand, if you want people to genuinely get to know you and trust you and buy from you. So yeah, bro. How about you? I know you're doing the YouTube. I love the videos. They're bangers, but do you see yourself like doing like short form content at all? Do you just want to stay focused on the YouTube for right now?
So a thing that I've never really spoken about is why I stopped posting that short form content, because from probably was 22, 23, I was posting like 3 videos a day every single day for 9 months, kind of that, what would you call it? That like hoodie up gym arc.
Mm-hmm.
It's so interesting because I didn't, again, another thing, and I don't mean to just be the same person repeating the same stuff. I didn't expect it, but it came to the point where I feel like it just was no longer me, because it was kind of like that, like depressed gym bro, right? Hoodie up, like focus on the grind.
Yeah.
And I realized that I feel like I outgrew it, which created some thinking where it's like, this is not who I am anymore. I built the audience around a person that I no longer am. Like, where does that fit in? And that's something I struggle to understand. And like that gave me some thoughts. And I feel like it's going to be a time when it comes back, but I feel like it's like peeling back layers of the onion to ultimately find your deepest purpose. It's like, we both played sports growing up, right? And even though those sports we could have given our life to them, they had their start, they had their finish, and they taught us a lot. I feel like for me, the short form content was like that as well. Now, I think that it'll always be there, sometimes more than others. But I think that for me right now, I'm taking a lot of time to be a little bit more private, something I'm really focusing on. I feel like everything's very public, and like I'm very, very much enjoying being a little bit more private. And it's something that is like, whatever happens will happen. And I tend to really try to, go with my gut feeling, something that, like we were talking about, like accepting what the universe and everything's telling us. I feel like for me, that's something I'm trying to live more congruent to. And right now, probably not the time and the place, but we will be back and we'll see when that happens.
Yeah, that is something like, I don't want to say something I envy, but something that's nice about like you having a stable career is like, with my work, I can't take any breaks. I have to be posting. I have to be online. Like, and it's part of my life now. I've been doing it since 2019. So it's like, I don't have to even think about it. I post Instagram stories every day. I love doing that. Posting content just about daily, but it's nice that you can do that because you've graduated, you have this career that you've earned, and you can be a little bit private for right now and post whenever you want to post. So
yeah, that's very valid. Like, and that's something that also, it's like a lot of times when you do something for the sake of doing it, you're going to do it better. Obviously you're killing it, smashing it. You found your way that works for you, but it's something where sometimes less is more. But what I wanted to ask you, Eric, and this is something that I might as well be speaking to myself about, is the two questions I like to think about is, number one, what would I be doing if money wasn't an issue? And number two, what would I be saying if people's opinions didn't matter?
yeah. So you're asking me that?
I am.
Okay. What would I be doing if money wasn't like a factor?
If the bills were paid for, what would you spend your time doing?
Dude, I was having a conversation actually with Zach Colburn about this. And I would have to give the same answer as him, bro. I would love to still be on social media. Like if I had everything paid for, literally just make content, whether that's through Instagram or YouTube, and then have a booking link in my bio where people could book calls with me, like men, the guys I'm talking about, the underperforming men who are unfulfilled, they're lost in their health, their fitness, their finances, and just have one-on-one conversations with them, ask about where they're at, where they want to get to, and I can help bridge that gap with just an action plan, some thoughts, sharing my opinions, my beliefs with them on a call. Like, I think that is someone who actually does that is Elliot Holtz, YouTuber, who one of the first fitness guys that I've watched. And that's what he does now. He makes like a YouTube video every day, just gets in front of the camera, talks about whatever he wants to. I still listen to them, and he has a Calendly booking link, and I think he charges like just a couple $100 for it. I think you get 30 minutes or an hour of his time, and that's all he does now. And I think that's so cool because like people get on those calls because they want to just be in his presence, hear his opinions. He's there to bridge the gap of same thing of like these people that are lost mainly with their health, their fitness, their mindset. And that 1 hour call could be pivotal for them. And I would love to do the same thing for other people. And I essentially do that now with my coaching. Like people are paying for access to me. I'm helping them bridge that gap from being overweight, out of shape, stuck in their business to getting to point B. And so I'm essentially doing that right now. But if I could just make content focused on, you know, the things I'm doing now with my content, and people could just literally book a call, I feel like I could do that and feel so fulfilled. I'd have to go with that, bro. And then what was the second part of the question?
What would you say if you know, people's opinions were not a thing?
What would I say?
I feel like that, you know, I'll give you a chance to speak, but I feel like that's very much what you're doing. And I think it's really cool to see going from like because the thing I didn't like about the fitness industry is that everything's kind of copy and paste.
Yeah.
One thing, you'd be like,
there's a template to follow.
You're going to do that in your own way, but it's basically the same thing. And that's why I like the long form content, because I feel like that's more authentic.
100%.
More me. When I did Instagram, TikTok, a lot of times you probably can relate to this. Like you'd literally be like, okay, let's see what to do. I don't know what to do. Let me scroll until I find something that like I could do.
Yeah. You're getting influenced, and you're putting yourself in that position to get influenced by other people. But
exactly.
Yeah, bro. Dude, I have muted so many other fitness coaches and creators because that is what kept me stuck, is comparing myself all the time. And with that came caring so much about what other people thought. I'm like, okay, I think this sort of way about this person. I kind of envy them. So I'm going to like do content they're doing. Bro, all that did was make me like miserable and stuck, and felt like I was putting myself like lower than everyone else. But I've realized, dude, being a creator is so much more fun than a consumer. Like I still consume content. I still want to see what my friends are doing, but I can't tell you how many times I've muted just other coaches because I don't want to be like them, bro. I want to be Eric. And now I would say I'm putting my opinions, my beliefs out there because I want to truly like be myself and shift the beliefs of the people that follow me. If they want to be on the same team as me, like come and work with me. And not everyone's going to agree with what I say. Like my delivery is very blunt, especially on like if you go on my Instagram, that's like my main place. Some people are thrown off by my content, but usually I'm saying what other people are thinking, and I'm not afraid to put myself out there now. And I can't tell you how many people, even like athletes, there's been a few that reach out to me like, hey, like I actually really like your content. I want to do the same thing, but like I can't because my audience, you know, they would have a big problem with that. There's been 2 athlete girls who have said that to me. And I'm not going to say who, but I'm like, wow. I feel like with women, it's a lot more sensitive, the content you put out there, especially if you're an influencer, bro. Because if you piss off your audience, then like maybe your sales go down, like people get canceled, whatever. Like, bro, I don't care if I get canceled. Like, what are you going to cancel me about? I'm not out here giving out like stupid, rash opinions and beliefs. I still have to stay professional with what I'm saying, but I'm not going to be out here like, Andrew Tate, red pill, whatever. I think not to go down that rabbit hole, but Andrew Tate's got a lot of truth in his content, but he definitely says some outlandish things. And look how far that has gotten him with being himself and just not caring what other people think.
Would you say that fame is worth it for anyone who sees us, we have big followings on social media? Because obviously as a young person, that's kind of what you want.
Mm-hmm.
How would you look at that as, being in the position for a few years now? How does that change your mind?
Yeah. You have to be very careful with it. Like, it can get to your head without a doubt, but if you play your cards right, you can do extraordinary things. My following has allowed me to do extraordinary things, be on that billboard in Vegas, be all over the Alphalete website, build a life, be able to move out here to Austin, running my own business, making my own money, making 5 figures plus a month. Like, I don't say that coming from a place of like pride. It's like, bro, I would not be able to do that if I took the traditional route. And all that started with betting on myself back in 2019, making that fitness account. And honestly, just, I knew, I had this gut feeling it would lead somewhere. I didn't know where, but it was not at all to what I'm doing now. It all happened through just growing my platform, getting people in my ecosystem, and building my personal brand. I think one of the strongest assets in 2025 is having a personal brand, whether like online, there's so many things you can do with it. Even if I wasn't in coaching, bro, I could spin it in some sort of way and figure out how to make a career off of it. But I love playing my cards right and using my following the right way. I'm not out here to promote stupid things like some of these fitness influencers, like gambling, like freaking, abusing steroids, things of that nature. Like, I want to truly influence like younger and older people in the right ways to become their healthiest, happiest, fittest version. And I feel like fitness is the vehicle for that, but it can extend to so many different areas outside of that. Like, I built my following through the fitness. That's why I want to keep that at the core. But now let's expand. I want to influence people about like bettering their finances, bettering their faith, bettering their mindset, overcoming self-limiting beliefs. I really like, I guess what I say can apply to some women, but I really want to help men, because I feel like modern day culture just penalizes modern day masculinity. And again, not to get red pill, but like, so many men out there are depressed, anxious, overweight, unfulfilled, just taking the traditional route and becoming a victim of it. And they don't know how to get out of it because they're in too deep. And a lot of people think that they can't get out of it because they identify that way. So I try to make people problem aware of their circumstances and let them know, you don't have to live this way. There's a much better way to live. And I've been in your exact same shoes before without any faith. I've been overweight. That's how I built my following, was through my transformation, showing that off. I've been anxious. I've been depressed. I've been all of the above. And I'm confident that God has worked in my life in those ways, looking back now, to feel all the pain so I can help men get out of it now. Like, that's where I'm at. I'm now starting to realize that. And it's really cool, bro. I feel like I'm truly at the start of what I'm supposed to be doing, like what God is calling me to do. Because when I was struggling with those things, I felt like I was just kind of cruising. Like, okay, that's why my business was stuck. I wasn't fully surrendering to God and working out my pain, bro, working out the things that I was being stubborn about. So at 26 years old, I understand why I've been through everything I've been through. And now it's like, okay, let me help as many men as I can, and women, of course. But I mean, my following is like 88% male, and I can relate to men the most. So long drawn out answer, but I'm really excited for the future, bro. And I feel like this is literally the first podcast we're doing, but this could be just another avenue to get more real, more authentic, and not have 90 seconds to hook the viewer in and try and give out as much value as I can. I can just sit here, speak my mind, and say whatever I want.
I mean, arguably not arguably, it would be probably less engagement, but it's like, I feel like if you have those people who are watching your stuff and really tuning in, those are the people that matter, right? You don't want the people who are just going to see it, like, leave. You want the people who are like, I feel this. I literally see myself maybe working towards something like you.
Mm-hmm.
As for many of your guys. And so I guess I feel like there's a lot of people watching this maybe who are in that rougher spot. What would you say to them? What would you say would be like the first maybe few steps to take if you're like, I hate my life, I'm overweight, I just don't know what to do?
The best question, bro. I love talking about this. You can step into that version of you today, and here's how you do it. I'm all about, like, I'm a very technical person. I'm very black and white. So this is what I do with both my fitness clients and my business clients. We get on a call, we outline what is point A, what is point B, where are you at now, where do you want to get to? Point A, what are your pain points? What are your current circumstances? What are you struggling with? Deeper than just being overweight and out of shape, like what does your day-to-day life look like, right? And now what is point B? Like what is the dream outcome? Where do you want to get to? What do you look like physically? What sort of persona do you embody? What is your demeanor? What do you have? What does your life look like? Like what does your day-to-day life look like? So say I use the guy, I always do this when I role play with like my business students. We have Matt. I don't know Matt. My brother's name is Matt. He's killing it in life, but Matt is 250 pounds. He's out of shape. He's single. He works a 9 to 5 selling insurance, makes 50K a year, 40K a year. He's single. He's just very unfulfilled, bro. After work, he goes through the drive-thru. He comes home. He watches Netflix. He smokes weed every single night. Like he's just cruising, bro. And he can keep doing that, you know, but eventually like he's going to crash. He's going to burn. But he's depressed, he's anxious, and he's just going through the motions in life. Matt wants to lose the weight. He wants to have a six-pack. He wants to be able to put himself out there. He wants to be able to talk to women, be confident, be able to take his shirt off without not being disgusted with himself and seeing Cheeto dust in his belly button, right? He wants to get off the vices. He wants to feel like he's actually advancing in life. So that's point B. So let's reverse engineer the process of how we get Matt from point A to point B. But Matt is at point A today as a result of his decisions. And this, like, bro, once I started to understand this, I look at life so differently. We are at where we're at now because of the decisions that we made. Me being 26 years old, every decision that I made has led me to this point. And every decision that Matt has made has led him to that point now. And so what's going to get Matt from point A to point B and myself from where I'm at now to where I want to get to in life is just a result of every decision that I make on a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis. So now we understand where Matt wants to get to. How does Matt make decisions with a six-pack? You know, confident, achieving more in life, advancing in his career, getting out there, dating women, like just being his true, authentic, like flourishing self. Matt today can step into the shoes of that decision maker and start switching his decision making. Instead of staying up till 2 a.m. playing Fortnite, smoking weed, let's go to bed at 11 p.m. Let's set an alarm for 6 a.m. the next day. Let's get up. Let's attack the day. Let's remove all the junk food from his apartment. Let's remove the alcohol. We don't have to just act like a complete bot. Matt can still live life, go out, enjoy some drinks with his friends, but he's got to stop drinking on his own. He's got to get rid of the weed, get off of that. He's got to stop going through the drive-thru every day after work. Like there are simple things that he can start doing, like going to the grocery store and picking up some macro-friendly foods. He can get rid of the junk that's inside of his apartment. He can set up his life to where it's easier to make those decisions. And he's got to do it with other people around him. So like have accountability with that, whether that's a coach, whether that's a friend, a family member. Find someone who is in the shoes of that now, which is me for these fitness guys. Like I know I'm in shape. I'm doing well for myself. I say that humbly, but people sign up with me because they look up to me. They want to live the life that I have. And that's why I take my life so seriously with my fitness, my business, my finances, everything, because I am leading by example. But that, to sum it all up, bro, it's all a matter of decision making. Like every decision that you make is going to take you a step forward or a step back. So you can step into the shoes of whoever version you want to become today. And that is what's so difficult because people are afraid of changing their decision making. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it reminds me of the Matrix when Neo's with Trinity and he's about to get out of the car. He's about to take the red pill, but he's about to get out of the car. And Trinity turns to him and she's like, Neo, you've been down this road and you know exactly where it goes.
Mm-hmm.
If you want a different output, you have to start with the input and you have to have a different input to get the different output.
Absolutely.
Would you say that? Because I feel like, you know, the gym, getting in shape is literally like the start, but by doing that, fighting, you know, disciplinizing yourself and going when you don't want to, and, you know, fighting that no motivation and training legs when you want to hit arms, like, I feel like that's the catalyst. Like I've realized that. Do you agree?
Absolutely. I've never heard of any guy or woman that went to the gym and say, I regret going. Bro, fitness has taught me so much. Like the gym has taught me so freaking much, bro. And I feel like that's why entrepreneurs and successful, you know, business owners, even guys in the corporate world, they look the part. The guys that are hyper successful are not overweight. They have a six pack. Like, they take themselves seriously. They respect themselves. And I feel like fitness is also a way to not only respect yourself, but respect God. Like, take care of your body. There's so many verses in the Bible that reflect that. It's not that you have to go to the gym every day and pump iron, get big biceps. Like, take care of yourself in some way, shape, or form than just existing. Like, bro, get outside, go on a walk, go on a freaking kayak. It doesn't matter, bro. Get yourself moving. And like, dude, it sounds shallow, but I despise the way that out of shape, overweight people make decisions. And like, I'm just being honest, bro. I'm speaking my mind. I don't care what people think. I despise that decision making. But I can help the person that's willing to change their decision making if they can understand that like where they're at is not sustainable and it's only digging them down a further hole of being unhealthy, being more depressed, being more anxious. Like, the first step is just identifying that, not being in denial,
accepting it.
Exactly. And I have a lot of respect for the people that are there, but they accept it and they're ready to change. I can meet them where they're at. While I might not agree with how the way you got to where you're at, I had been there before, bro. So I'm not going to sit here and judge. But I will not be a fan of you if you're in that position, you're in denial and you just don't care. I made a reel the other day. Like, if I wanted to be disrespected by my friends, my family members, my coworkers, women, and myself, most importantly, and disrespected by God, here's what I do. I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care if I'm out of shape. I wouldn't care that I'm fat and obese. I wouldn't care that I'm sleeping in late. I wouldn't care that I'm living paycheck to paycheck and not trying to achieve anything more. I just wouldn't care about anything, bro. And I feel like the gym gets you to care, bro. And just health and fitness in general, it gets you to care about your body, your mind, like your soul, bro. It's bigger than just lifting weights and getting bigger biceps, dude. I go to the gym for my mental and obviously to, build my physique. My physique is my billboard, but dude, I don't want to know what life is like without the gym. And I don't say that from a place of like pride and ego. I love moving my body. And I feel like once you get the taste of that, then you catch the bug, bro. That's what happens to my clients. That's the most beautiful thing. When they stop like feeling like it's a chore to get to the gym, when they genuinely look forward to it and they graduate from my program and they like keep killing it. I've had guys make fitness pages. They keep me updated with their progress. Like, they get the bug, bro. And if I can offer that to people, mission accomplished.
1000%. I mean, if you want to help the world, you first got to help yourself. And I feel like a lot of people want to help the world, but if you can't even get yourself in shape and get yourself on a routine and, see actionable, or not actionable, but, changing your life, progressing to where you want it to be, like, that's the start. Our cameras are running low. I would like to end this.
Yeah, bro, this is a good spot to end.
No, I'd like to end this with asking, what do you want people to remember you by, Eric?
That's awesome, dude. That is awesome. I want people to remember me as someone who was just started like everyone else, bro. I mean, I had a very, very great upbringing, middle-class family, but I was about to take the traditional route. I graduated from college, still in a lot of student debt, but I graduated with about $100,000 of debt. And I chose to bet on myself and take a different path. And I had no clue where I was going to lead me, but I've always had this gut feeling that it would bring me somewhere extraordinary. And I want people to know me as someone that's extraordinary, someone that can lead by example, someone that met the average man, no matter what culture, background, race, sexual orientation you come from, a man that you can look up to that takes himself seriously and that has built a life for himself, like self-made. I will be honest, bro. My life has been self-made. Like, everything that I've achieved thus far has been a result of my decisions. And like, I'm not saying I've done it all myself, but it's not like I was granted all this money at first or like all these followers or all this, that, and the other thing. Like, bro, I moved to Houston with $10,000 saved, making $800 a month. And I struggled for a long time, but I figured it out, and decision after decision has led me to where I am today. But I want to be known as a God-fearing man that takes himself seriously and that can help elevate other men to get to a better place in life, a place of fulfillment. I want to unlock freedom and fulfillment for other men, to wrap it all up. But keep God first throughout all of it, bro. I would not be where I'm at today if it wasn't for him. Yeah. How about you, bro? I got to ask you. Then let's end. Let's end on that.
I would say recently I've been ruminating a lot on death, thinking that, you know, this day is coming, whether I know it or not, right? I'm getting older, my friends are getting older, my parents are getting older. And this has led me to think quite deeply about what I want to be remembered as. And for me, there's three things. The first thing I want to be is someone who took an interest, and of interest, a genuine interest in other people. He cared about them. You know, that person who doesn't, everyone walks by saying, hey, how you doing? Because I know that a lot of people are going through some real stuff, and that, hey, how are you doing, might just be the reason they keep going. So that's number one. Number two, I want to be someone who led by example. Similar to you, I want to be someone who really led by the things he believed in and fought for those. And then last of all, I just want to really leave a positive impact on this generation. And at the end of the day, like when I do die, when I am on my deathbed, I just want to know that I did those things with my friends and family, really poured into those cups as much as I could, and just gave 100% to everything that I did. So
yeah, that's beautiful, man. I say we wrap it up right there, bro. We came into this with no plan. Like, we don't have a name to this podcast, nothing. I think like after the first time we hung out, we're like, bro, like, let's just run a pod.
I think it's a great thing to do with one of your buddies. Just, you don't even have to like have cameras or anything. Just like do it, see where you go, because it's like one of those things when you have like we had a 3-hour conversation, you get so much deeper into it than when you just be like, hey, what's up? How are you? I'm good. How are you? Yeah.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. Dude, where are we going to post this? I haven't even thought about that yet.
I think the plan will be to post it on YouTube and then, you know, post the snippets other places too. But
yeah,
I just want to say, Eric, I really appreciate you. I know we spoke about this at the start, but I literally knew no one here, especially no one my age. And I just want to say thank you, like from the bottom of my heart, that you introduced me to a great group of people, because you're awesome, they're awesome, and I feel like I've definitely found a family here. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you for the conversation.
Absolutely, bro. God is good. He brought us together, man. So I'm really excited for the future. If y'all made it this far, if you're watching on YouTube or wherever else this is posted, thank you seriously for watching. Love you guys. You can find me on Instagram at Ogle _, and you can find Alex. We're at
Alex Kovsky, 2 X's on Instagram, YouTube, all that fun stuff.
Yes, sir. I think we'll cut it right there. Have a blessed day.
Take care, everybody. We'll see you again soon.